so this is future me. When I was putting this video together, I forgot to tell you what I was doing. I just jumped right into it. Hey, look, I'm putting sugar in a bucket. I don't need to tell you why. I don't think I had enough coffee today, or my senility's kicking in. But anyway, so we're doing long-term storage, 5-gallon buckets. Some of this that you're going to see is just from my bakery business, because that's how I like to store extra flour. But the rice is for my long-term storage, and I'm going to show you how I package it to put it away for the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Or the drone apocalypse. Whatever. So yeah, so we're going to be doing sugar, flour, and then jasmine rice. The jasmine rice, again, that's how I'm going to show you how I package it for long-term storage. A lot of this stuff can be stored, if you do it right, 20, 25, 30 years or longer. I'm not sure. But anyway, so let's get started. Future me signing out. So this is the 5-gallon bucket. This is 5-gallon Mylar bag. And so far, we've got 25 pounds of sugar in there, which is about, it's hard to tell but from the camera angle, but it's about 3 inches from the top. I'm going to attempt to put another 10 pounds in there to see. I can't remember. The last time I did this, I don't remember how many pounds you can actually hold in 5-gallon buckets. So far we're at 25 pounds. So with the sugar, it only would take another 5 pounds. I couldn't do a whole 10 because it kind of went over the top a little bit. But this right here is about 1 inch from the top. So in my opinion, that's perfect. Okay, so now we're moving on to the flour. And this one is not going to be sealed either, because this is part of my bakery business storage. But I don't like to put it directly into the buckets because that stuff leaches out. The Mylar is safe. But anyway, so a suggestion when you're using the Mylar bags, excuse my dirty floor, I've been cooking all morning, haven't cleaned yet. I put a little bit down there and then just shake it down in there to get it in all the cracks. That way it doesn't overflow. And if you have issues with lifting heavier things, you know, it's better to do that before, you know, add more. Me, I have arthritis in my hands that acts up sometimes, and I can't always do that. So it's best just put 2 or 3 pounds in there, shake it, and then pour the rest in there. Okay, that's 25 pounds right there, and it's almost to the top. So I can't do another 5 pounds in this like I did the sugar. I guess just because the sugar is coarser or whatever, it settles better. But all you can do really with the fine flour, because this right here is actually pastry flour. I mean, whatever flour you use. Also wheat berries. I store wheat berries as well for long term and everything, but not everybody does that, and that's fine. I'll do a video on that itself. But anyway, so this is 25 pounds and it's going in there okay. But I can't put any more. Okay, so here's the rice. I'm doing jasmine rice today. Pretty much it's the only rice we eat. So what I'm doing is I got three desiccants, oxygen absorbers, whatever you want to call them. 3 at 300 each. So that's 900. I'm going to put them in there, and then I'm going to fill it the rest of the way up. I usually do 2 labels. I do one on top and one on the side. So this again is just from my bakery business, so I don't date it because it rotates. But oh, sorry about that. You can see again, this is going to go on my flour. But if you were putting it for storage, you would put what it is and the date. Not when you think it expires, but the date, and then you calculate if you want to use that. So I'm going to keep going here. We're about to do our rice next. And when I do the rice, then I'm going to show you how to seal it for long term. There are actually 2 ways to seal it with heat, and I'm going to show you both ways. Alright guys, I got my cameraman. He's going to hold the camera while... Yep, that's a good spot right there.
Thank you.
So the first way to do it with heat is you can just use an iron. This one's not on because I don't do this often, but it is a way to do it. So what you do after you put your oxygen absorbers in, you're going to hold it down like this, and you're just going to press it down. You want it on low to medium heat because you don't want to burn through it. And you press it and hold it until there's a seal. If you see, this doesn't have the Ziploc thing like the other ones do, because this is for long term. So yeah, put your oxygen absorbers, push out as much air as you can, and just any board, it doesn't matter, something that's heat proof, and just hold it down like that, and just make sure you got a good seal all the way across. That's one way to do it. Or yeah, you're good, just like that. You don't have to be a girl to have one of these, but we have one. I don't straightener, just a normal straightener. This is my preferred method just because I don't have to bring out the board and do all that mess. I can just kick that out the way and concentrate. So that's too high. You want it on just under 300 degrees or low to medium heat as well. Because you get it too hot and you're going to melt the Mylar. So, and can you zoom in a little bit, get a little closer? So do you see that right there? That's what I was going to tell you in the other one. You want below that because this is the tearing thing, and you want to be able to seal it back if you just want to do whatever, but you want the ability to seal it back. So we're going to start over here, just kind of about 3 or 4 seconds, and again, okay, see how that, it's not going anywhere, and if you look, it's already stuck. So just going to go all the way across like that, and it's not going to hurt if you get in the middle and it won't go through, and you have to do it like this. See, because you're going to get to a point where you can't get all the way. So you can totally do it like this. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything, but that's it. And then I'm going to show you the final product. Okay, so I did misspeak on something. So this is the tear line. Yes, this is the one that you seal yourself. You can seal it anywhere on these. What I was saying, and I should have said that, was the ones that are the Ziploc, the reclosable ones. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry, y'all. You want to be above the Ziploc thing, so that way you can reseal it. So I'm sorry about that. I just completely had a brain fart. Okay, so we've got this, and what this will do, this will sink down in there, and then we'll put the lid on it then. It takes it a couple days sometimes, just depends. But that's it. And I'll update you in a week or 2 or whatever what it looks like. But that's it. Ooh, look at me. Okay. So you got all sizes. So this is a 3x5. This is a 4x6, 5x8. This one will go for dry goods for quart amount. I don't remember what the size is, but it'll go for a quart. This is a gallon, and I know this is probably going to throw some people off, but both of these bags are for 5 gallon. And the reason why this one is smaller is because inside, see, that's a Ziploc bag, whatever you call it. So the food has to be under there. So that's technically what the 5-gallon measurement is. The reason why this one isn't, let me get in closer, is because this is the one that you saw in the video that, or you will see in the video, that seals by heat. And you make your own adjustment. So, me personally, I have both. I don't use these a whole lot. This is something if you're not really worried about super long term, like 10, 15, 20, 30 years. This is something more for a year. And you put it in a bucket. Put your oxygen absorbers in there and you're good. This one is more customizable. So, honestly, if you have a spot for it, you could do more than 5 gallons of a product, dry product. Keep that in mind. So that's why these two are, different sizes, because this is actually the true measurement from the Ziploc down to the end. And see, it goes to about, what is that, about 1/2 inch seal all the way around. This is the customizable one, as I call it, is probably more like 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 on the side. So, okay. And all the sizes do that. Like, I have some that are Ziploc and some that aren't. Like, my gallon ones are not. They're for heat only. So, if I have more than a quart, but not quite a gallon, you know, I can, whatever. They also have these little tear things, too, to rip open. So, you want, with these, so I got mixed up earlier. So, you don't need heat for the ones with the reclosable lid. You only want the heat for these. So, that being said, if you look on the 5 gallon, on the 1 gallon, the quart, they all have a place to rip it open, you know, just a tear open thing. And what you want to do is when you're putting your heat source on it, you want it to be under that. You want it to be under the tear, because you need to tear it open, right? Or you could do it above. I mean, you could do it above, but then I would worry about the seal not being as well maintained. Depends on what you're storing it in, so forth, so on. Now, what I'm saying is not gospel. So, if you have spoken to someone about a better way, I'm all for it too. Just let me know. Got no problem with that if you use these. But me personally, I do it. You can do it both. There's really no wrong way to do it. It's what works for you. Okay. Something else to keep in mind is the thickness. So, if you see these shinier ones, I can't remember the millimeters, they are a little thinner. So you have to make sure you protect them. Okay. If you're putting it in a bucket, make sure, you know, that there's no sharp edges, anything in there. These are a little bit more durable. They're a little thicker. Let me see if I can. I don't know if the camera's going to do any justice to it. Not really. But these, the less shiny, reflective ones are going to be thicker. And again, these are what I do my cake mixes in that I sell. These will be in my Etsy store. I will be linking that as soon as I can. This is about the size of what a cake box would be, or biscuit box or whatever. These tend to be, these two actually, both tend to be for spices. Like if you buy your spices in bulk, maybe you want to share them with someone else. Maybe you just like putting them in different places, different storage places. This is what I recommend. Make sure they're protected. Oxygen absorber, oxygen absorbers go in it. Now for these two, you only need a 50 cc, either one of these. Really, this one too. Honestly, I would put 100 cc's in that, so 250 ones. They make them in all cc's, 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000. I think all the way up to 5,000. I've never purchased the 5,000 ones, but I have seen them from time to time. Okay, so with that being said, these three sizes up to 100, 50, 50, I would do 100, me personally. I would do a 300 one in this one, the quart. I would do 600, two of the 300s, or if you have a 500 cc, do that one. These, the 5 gallons, I would do no less than 2,000. I actually have, and I'll show you, I actually have 3,000. Oh, no, that's the 2,000. Here's 3,000, my bad. Yeah. See, 3,000 cc's. This is a 20 pack. These are the 2,000. Yeah, these are the 2,000. These are the 300. This is a 20 pack, I think. Yeah, 20 pack. These, yeah, I'm looking for it. I forget to check. These are also 300, just a different company. And something else to keep in mind, if you can buy them, these are 300. If you can buy them where they're individually packed like this with the plastic around them, that's even better. That's optimal. It's just hard to find them. Okay, so keep that in mind. And also, now I kind of talked about it earlier, but make sure you have everything in the container it's going to be in, whether it's this, or this, before you open these. Because once you open these, you can only reseal them, vacuum seal them one time. If I don't use the whole thing, I will put them in a mason jar and put the lid on there and then vacuum seal it with my vacuum sealer. Because once they're exposed to oxygen, they start heating up. That can create, if the oxygen remains, that can create humidity in the container. So I showed it in the video, but like what I do is I will heat seal it all the way up to where I just have enough room right there to throw the oxygen absorbers in, and then I push the air out. Push as much air out by hand as I can, and then I seal them up. And that's pretty much it, y'all. It's not really complicated on that. Now, depending on what the product is, the more, I'm sorry, I'm sniffling, y'all. It's my allergies today. If the product, okay, let's say you have coffee beans. Now, not roasted coffee beans, but just green coffee beans. Those have some oil in them. You will not get to keep those for a long, long time. Maybe a couple years. Maybe more. I've only tested them for 1 year. I have heard of other people doing that for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and everything. But you just have to keep in mind that they're perfectly dry whenever you put them in there. You don't want any moisture in there because, you know, moisture creates mold. So rice, if you package this correctly and all the air is out of it, 20 years. Flour, I would say a couple years, and I only say that because I don't know how it breaks down. I don't store flour long term, as in 20, 30, 40 years. I know people that do. One piece of advice, if you're storing grains, whether it be rice, flour, wheat berries, freeze them for a couple days first. I didn't show that in the video. I probably should have, but I was already packaging them when I did whatever. So freeze them so that way you kill any kind of larvae or whatever that's in there. So that being said, most of the stuff will last as long as you need it to. I mean, most grains last 30 years, 20, 30 years, 10 years minimum. Same thing with canning stuff. People talk about canning is only good for 18 months. No, the FDA says that. But I have things in there that are 3 and 4 years old and they're still good and we still eat on them. So just something to think about. Okay, so real quick, so this is a quart one. You know, this one right here, this one. See how it's all indented? These are beans, I think. Hang on, let me look. Yeah, Pintos from 2020. So these are, as you can see, all the air is out, and how you know is because it's outlining a lot of the beans. So that's how you know that the oxygen absorber worked, if it does this. If it doesn't look like that, then you might want to try it again. Check your oxygen absorbers. But anyway, I love you guys. Leave questions if you have it. I'm back. So we got lots to do. January's coming up. Lots of good things. Love y'all. Bye.